Okay, so first things first, I'm sorry this video is so late. Like, I know I don't have like a specific timeline for Worm. There's a part of my brain that says Worm Wednesdays. I like the alliteration. I like that it's something every week. But the other part of my brain is like, look, I don't want to have to force myself to read one every week. And I don't mean that like I don't want to have to do this, because I really enjoy the story. But it's just, if I've got a lot of other shit to do in a week, or if like arc 11, an arc is really fucking long, I don't want to have to, I like going at a pretty steady pace, but I do want to get an arc done about every week, maybe every 2 weeks if it's particularly long. What I'm really sorry about is arc 11 did take me a while. I finished it, I think, about a week ago, and just haven't done the video yet. Like, it was a day or two before I wrote my notes down, and I've been sitting on the notes for a few days, like, all right, maybe I should do it today. No, I'm not going to do it today. Maybe I should do it today. No, I'm not going to do it today. I'm like, no, I need to get this ding-dang thing done. Also, because I'm already halfway through arc 12, and arc 12 is fan-fucking-tastic so far, and I'm like, I don't want to finish arc 12, and I still haven't done the arc 11 video. So let's talk about arc 11 of Worm. The audiobook, which I've said, like, I've been listening to the audiobook, is 8 hours and 14 minutes. It is so absurdly fucking long, and there's a very notable first and second half. The first 4 hours, that is all Taylor. And, like, we'll talk about that. And then the entire second half is just interludes. And it's introducing the members of the Slaughterhouse 9, mostly with one exception, that one being Cherish, I believe. Each one was done from the perspective of a different character, and it was like other people that we already know. And I thought that was really cool. I thought it was really fun. I'm underplaying it. I actually fucking loved it. Like, I'm reading all the shit with Taylor. I'm like, this is really cool. I'm really, like, what a fun climax we just had. How was that the boring half of the story? Is what the fuck? But let's talk about what actually happened, starting with our girl Skitter. So it starts with Taylor. She's in Coil's lair. She's seeing, like, there's a lot of blood everywhere. The travelers are all fucked up and on the ground. She's like, okay, I don't really know what the fuck happened. Shit went down. This might be my chance to save Dinah. So she's running through the halls, finds Dinah's room, goes inside, and she sees Coil sitting in there, and Dinah is in there, and Dinah is just sitting on her side, wide-eyed, dead. Taylor, seeing the child that she feels responsible for, and that she's been wanting to save, dead like that, she fucking snaps. Like, she pulls out her knife, she runs at Coil, she can feel his power trigger. I'm like, that's really fucking cool. I don't think any of this is happening right now, because I was like, did I fucking miss something? I'm pretty sure we're having a nightmare, but could someone feel Coil trigger his power? I don't know. That's kind of neat. And then she stabs him in the heart and she kills him, so that reality disappears. And then Coil pulls out some like voodoo pufferfish venom and like throws it in her face and turns her more or less into like an obedient zombie, and he starts calling her Pet instead of Dinah Pet, and he takes off his mask, and it's Danny. It's Taylor's dad, and then she wakes up from her nightmare. I was like, yeah, that was definitely a nightmare sequence, but what a fun nightmare sequence that actually was. There was that part of my brain that was just kind of thinking, if that were to happen, and Coil and Danny were the same person, and I don't know, 99.6% sure that they're not, is that a fun twist and fun reveal, or is that just a cliche that, oh yeah, it turns out your dad is the one behind everything? I'm like, I don't know. I think that sounds kind of fun. I don't think it's going to go that route, and I don't think it's a bad thing if it doesn't. I don't know, that just sounds kind of neat to me. But she wakes up from her nightmare, talks about her lair and all the... I think she said it's like, the first floor is for Taylor. It's something that's, pretty relaxing. There's like a TV, a couch. The second floor is for Skitter. This is where I've got all my bugs. This is the part that's my house. This is the part that's my supervillain lair. And like, she has this back entrance that she uses when she's being Taylor, so she's not seen going in and out of a supervillain's house. I'm like, this is fun. This is really cool. So she goes out for her morning run, and she runs into Danny, who she hasn't seen since, I don't know, like the end of part 6? Yeah, I think it was part 6, because she got mad at him in that. Part 7, I don't remember what the fuck happened in part 7. That was, I think, the attack on the party. And then part 8, yeah, because it ends with them, they pulled that job, then they were able to meet Coil. Taylor found out about Dina and said, I'm not fucking doing this shit. And she was going to leave the team. And then the Endbringer happened, and that was part 8 with Levi. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. So she hasn't seen her dad since part 6. They have a short conversation. It seems like he is okay. He's part of the rebuilding effort, and it's very awkward on both sides. What I think is super interesting is Taylor's feelings are essentially, I love my dad. I'm so glad he's okay. I want, to talk to him. But I can't. Partly because I'm still mad for the fact that he tried to put me under house arrest at the end of part 6. I don't want to go home because I don't know how safe I feel there. I know my dad's not going to hurt me, but I don't know how comfortable I feel in that situation now. Also, I don't know how I can talk to my dad when I'm keeping all of this shit from him. I'm a supervillain. Deadass. There's no delusionment anymore about who I am and what I do. I still want to be a good person, but I am still a supervillain. I don't want to get my dad involved in any of that, and I don't want to tell him, because I don't want to see the look in his eyes when I tell him his little girl hurts people with bugs. But I don't know if I can talk to him without it somehow slipping. And even if it doesn't slip, the guilt is going to eat me alive. So they say their goodbyes. She goes back home. It's the first thing she did when she woke up, she called up Coil and was like, hey, I need you to bring some guys so I can do some shit. Specifically, it's really early in the morning, and I know if I call him, I'm going to piss him off a little bit. Not to the point where he's not going to help me, because that's the kind of person Coil is. It's all business. But if I can ruin his day just a little bit, that makes my day. Dude, Skitter, it makes sense in context. She is a bona fide hater. I know I've seen it be, I think it's with Reverse Flash. It probably is. That fucking text is just, I wake up early every day so I have extra time to be a hater. I'm like, that is what Skitter deadass just did to fucking Coil, and it's gold. So some droogs show up. She goes full Skitter. And he's like, all right, this is my territory. I am making my claim for my territory. So we get what I like to call the start of Slumlord Skitter, where she's just kind of sending her bugs around the territory, making arrows and signs so people know where to go. She's got a whole truckload of dudes and supplies, more supplies than dudes, but there's a few well-armed dudes. Okay, this is what's gonna happen. Then a bunch of people gather. I'm Skitter. I'm in charge of this territory. This is how shit is gonna work. No drugs. No violence. I will give y'all supplies. Because if you're my people, I am taking care of you. If you want to work for me, I will give you extra shit. If you don't want to work for me, that's fine. It is an option, and I am not mandating it. I will not demand protection money. I want to keep my territory safe and clean. And if you're in my territory, you're my people. If you are not one of my people in my territory, you engage in violence, you engage in drug trafficking, sex trafficking, you're a member of this gang or this gang or this gang, This is your warning to get out. You get one warning, and this was it. If I find out that you are still here and you are fucking shit up in my territory, I am sending the bugs after you. Also, she makes this humanoid, like, she takes this swarm of bugs and makes them into this humanoid shape. I'm like, that's pretty cool. She actually does it a few times in this art. Like, that's fucking neat. I actually like that, like her fucking bug stand. So then she starts, giving out food and supplies, and she has like, look, there might not be enough for everybody today. If there's people who don't get anything, stay behind. I will take care of you. Do not, I repeat, do not start fighting over these in front of me. So there's a point where people start fighting over them in front of her, and I think she just sends the bug stand like, and, they split up. A superhero is there. I don't remember if it was assault or battery. It was one of the two. Shows up, is specifically not doing anything, but is just watching, and then a dude with a knife ends up, saying shit, and like, this is my supplies. So Taylor goes and kind of the part I loved is she just kind of walks up to him, and she's talking shit like, what do you, like, stab me. Or, oh, you're like a big man, you got a weapon? Fucking do something about it. And this reminds me of like another one of my favorite memes, which was like, it was a news article, and the line is, quote from man stabbed. What are you gonna do? Stab me? And it makes me laugh every time. And it made me think of that, but Taylor didn't get stabbed. She fucked the guy up, grabbed his knife, and the hero steps in and is like, hey, I can't let you use that knife on him. To which Taylor says, I didn't plan on it. I wasn't going to. And in her head, okay, I was totally going to use the knife. I wasn't going to, like, kill him. I wasn't going to hurt him. I wasn't going to lung his eyes out or anything. I was just going to, maybe stab him on the hand, give him something to remember me by. But, I mean, I don't want to fight the hero, and I wasn't super married to the idea, so fine. I wasn't going to use the knife. And then, here again, I don't remember if it was assault or battery. He's like, look, I don't know what this is, because everything I know about you is that you're kind of a piece of shit. If you are on the up and up, that's great. If you were genuinely trying to help people, that's great. Forgive me if I don't fucking trust it. But you and your group are still low priority. So I'm gonna ignore this and not fuck with you. Do not give me a reason to have to fuck with you. To which Skitter replies, I don't fucking plan on it. Like, look, if you're not gonna do anything, then just leave. I got supplies to hand out. Fine. So the hero leaves, like the crowd kind of disperses. There's still a bunch of people left, so Taylor gives them like a ladybug or two, and she's like, okay, here's the thing. I am giving you these ladybugs, and what this means is because I can feel my bugs, I can sense them. I know where these bugs are, so I know the places I have to hit with the second round of supplies. I'm going to call my supplier so I can hook you guys up. It might be a little bit, and I'm sorry about that, but I will not forget you. Like I said, you're my people, and I take care of my people. So they all disperse except for one girl. She, excuse me. She goes up to Skitter and it's like, hey, so I don't know if I can ask this, but I need a favor. You know the merchants? Yeah, they're real pieces of shit. Yeah, they're real pieces of shit. They took my brother. They, after the Endbringer attack, like my uncle died, and my mom died, and my dad died, and it's just me and my brother, and we were in a church, and they attacked the church, and they hurt, and they killed a lot of the people there. I barely got out, and they took my brother, my little brother Bryce. Can you get him back for me? Skitter's like, I will do what I can, because I want to help people. I think part of it was, it's the kind of thing where if I pull it off, it'll help my reputation in my territory a lot. It shows that I was able to fuck with the merchants It also shows that when one of my people asked me for something, I fucking delivered. This would look good for me. Also, let me help this poor woman. Her name was Sierra, I believe. So they talk for a bit, get Sierra's story, learns a bit about Bryce. Okay, cool. I will get to work on this. So she calls up Lisa. They talk for a bit, and Lisa's like, I've got an idea. There's going to be a merchant party. There's going to be a merchant party at the mall, or what's kind of left of the mall after the Endbringer attack. We're going to go there. We're going to bring some of Coil's guys to escort us, keep us safe. If we don't find the kid there, we should find some good leads on where to find the kid. Sound good? Yeah, sounds great. I'll meet you at like 7. So Skitter goes, or I mean, it's also Taylor. Taylor goes, talks to Lisa. They get a group of soldiers, head to the mall. So when they're in the mall, they find some women. I think one of them was like specifically a teenage girl around Taylor's age because she was from her class. Her name was Charlotte, who were essentially, I don't remember exactly if it was like a burlesque dance, if it was like a strip tease, but they were very much being ogled and sexualized. And Taylor sees this. She's like, look, I don't want to do this. I don't approve of this. Like, I feel like at any moment the crowd is going to go nuts and that girl is going to get hurt. Can we do something about that? And Lisa's like, do we have to? Yes. All right, fine. As one of the soldiers go take the girl gets taken, and she's like, oh, thank you so much. Don't thank me. I didn't want to do it. Thank her. So she starts thanking Taylor, and then she recognizes Taylor. She recognizes her as the locker girl. And Taylor is pissed. Like, she's pissed that someone recognized her. She's pissed to have this moment brought up. And she talks, she's like, man, like, I felt so bad for you. Like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, you felt so bad that you did nothing. Because no one did anything. Forgive me for not thinking your sympathy is worth a fucking damn. But, they still have Charlotte follow them. She's like, look, I'm now pissed at this person, but I don't want to throw her to the merchants. Like, it's fine, just, I kind of don't want to deal with you. Let's find the kid. So eventually they find Bryce, and it turns out he was not captured by the merchants. He went with them willingly. He's like, no, fuck the church. It was shitty. Like, my parents were kind of ass. You know, like, my uncle, I thought he was a deadbeat piece of shit. I'm happy to be gone. And Lisa's like, okay, I got this. I'm gonna lie real quick. You know they, like, really badly hurt your sister, right? What? Really? Yeah, kid. Totally. You really want to hang out with people like that? And around the time this is happening, Skidmark, the leader of the merchants, shows up to the party. He's like, hey, fuckers! What's up? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? Sorry, the fucking Super Bowl. What's up? So, he's like, okay, this is what we're doing today. Because the merchants all have, like, these armbands, and depending on the color, so, like, if you get an armband, it means, like, you went to one of their parties. The color of the band kind of determines what the party was about. I don't remember what they all were, but if you have a red armband, it essentially means you went to a violent party. You went to a blood orgy. He's like, all right, fuckers, what we're doing today is we're having a good old-fashioned brawl, a good old free-for-all, battle royale. Here are the prizes. And it's these canisters, and he explains what they are, which I think we had first heard about in Fault Line's interlude back in part, I don't remember. I deadass don't remember which one it was. Actually, it wasn't Fault Line's interlude. It was Gregor the Snails, but he's part of Fault Line's crew. And it is these are superpowers. This is like condensed power formula. I'm going to have a bunch of, like we're going to have a good old-fashioned fight. Once we get to only a few people left and we have our winners, you can start getting powers, y'all. Power in a can. have at you. So, just a good old-fashioned bloodbath, and shit's going crazy. People are getting their asses kicked, people are fucking dying. And Taylor realizes at one point, like, oh my god, he's trying to cause trigger events. Regardless of, like, that power in a can shit, because, what? Like, is that real? Also, fuck that. Fuck that. I had to earn my powers. I went through the most traumatic shit I could possibly imagine. The fact that someone could just inject themselves with magic juice, with the fucking ooze, like, no. Hell no. Fuck that. She's like actually offended, which I think it makes sense in context. It's kind of funny to me. But a fight happens. A kid does get a trigger event. I don't remember exactly what his power was. And he is able to choose one of his friends to also get powers. So that happens. And then, speaking of Fault Line and her crew show up and start fighting the merchants so they can get their hands on the power canisters. On the ooze. That's probably just what I'm going to be calling it. So, a fight is going on, and you've got Fault Line, like, just fucking earthbending and kicking ass. You've got, Neuter just doing his shit and, like, spitting at people and fucking them up. You've got Labyrinth, who is actively fucking with the way the mall works in addition to the earthbending. And there's a point where Taylor just kind of says to herself, you know, the mall is now officially dead. And not like a Mean Girls way where like, the mall was so 2 years ago. Why would we go there? But like, I went here and I saw the party, like all the debauchery going on, and I could still recognize this as the mall, but it's very clear, like, it's not the same place. Now I can't even recognize it physically anymore. And I just really liked that little moment. It's like, yeah, like, Brockton Bay is not the same after the Endbringer attack, and I feel like with the S9 in town, like, it's just gonna keep getting worse. Old Jack Slash is like, look what we got in our vial. Fuck, that was such a wild chapter, dude. Anyways, point. I just want to check my notes. Have I missed anything so far? Not really. But yeah, it's you had the mall brawl for the powers of the trigger event, and now with Fault Line's crew, it's the mall brawl 2.0. The merchants just get their asses handed to them. There's a point where Skidmark, out of just pure unadulterated spite, just tries to break the canister so Fault Line can't get them, but she and her crew are able to get them anyways. Lisa and Taylor are able to get there was a briefcase with some documents. I don't think they got the whole briefcase, but they got a couple of the documents and they try to escape, and the Neuter catches up to him. He's like, hey, give me that fucking shit. And they're like, hey man, chill out. They reveal who they are. It's like, I'm Skitter. This is Tattletale. We are not trying to fuck with you at all. We were here to find this fucking kid. It's like, Bryce goes into the brawl, but they're able to get him out of the brawl. Like, he and Charlotte are able to escape. Like, we were here for this kid. If this is your shit, like, we took a look at it, you can have it. It's totally fine. Elisa's like, also, if you want any help, like, looking through the documents and coding the documents, you know where to call me. Why would we call you? Fault Line hates you, and I hate her. But she's also not stupid. She knows how useful I can be. So if you want my help, I am happy to offer it. Like, maybe not for free. You know, you're a mercenary. You understand that there's payment involved. But I think we can help each other out here. But while they're talking about this, they talk about what a Case 53 is. And that's like what Neuter is, what Gregor the Snail is. They are the people that this, like, a power formula, this ooze, they are the experiments. So my understanding is I think it's called the Nemesis program, is it has gotten to a point where you can take the ooze and get a superpower and not get fucked up. I think at this point they worked out the kinks, but people like Neuter and Gregor the Snail Maybe that's also the Endbringers. I don't know. But that was, we hadn't worked out the kinks yet, and these were the results. So after that, Taylor, Lisa, Bryce, Charlotte, and the soldiers go to the doctor. They get checked out for all the stuff that happens. Taylor has a conversation with Charlotte. She's like, okay, so here's the thing. You now know who I am. Like, dead ass, you saw me doing all my shit with the bugs and everything. Yeah, I'm a supervillain. And you, as a civilian, know that. The last thing I want to do is say, you tell anybody, I'll kill you. Like, I don't want to threaten you. That I know I'm a supervillain. I know I have my reputation. It's embellished. I really don't think I'm that bad of a person. But, I mean, you know, everyone's going to have their own opinion of it. But I don't want to threaten you. My boss, on the other hand, he would have no qualms about doing that. So you have to be silent. Here's a couple of ideas. Idea number one, you leave town. You take your family, you go, we Simba this. You leave, run far away, and never return. Then we don't have to worry about you saying anything, because there's no one to say it to. Option 2, you stay in town, you stay alive, you work for me. I'll pay you, I'll compensate you. If you actively work for me, I know I can trust you. Yeah, gee, I don't know. I don't want to have to work for a supervillain. I mean, I get it. You don't really have a lot of choice. Like, you can leave. I can't leave. Like, Grandpa doesn't want to leave. He's going to be staying here forever. I don't want to work for a supervillain. I mean, I'm not going to have you, like, break someone's legs or anything. I'm not going to have you do anything fucked up. I think about it. Yeah, sure. Then, Sierra ends up coming over. They bring her Bryce. It's like, look, here's your brother. Your brother joined the merchants. Hopefully we kind of knocked that out of him. They talk for a bit more, and then Sierra agrees to join Taylor. Bryce ends up joining Lisa. Then I think Gru ends up coming over. They either talked in person or it was like a call or a text. I think they were in person. They talk for a bit. They kind of make up. It's like, okay, I think we're Gucci. We're homies again. You know, I had a rough fucking day. But I think everything is going to be okay. I think everything is going to be just fine. And that's how Taylor's part... Yeah, that's how Taylor's part ends. Just everything is going to be A-okay. Then you get to the second half of the arc. I don't want to say, like, the good part, because it implies that the first half wasn't a good part, and I think it's really good. I don't want to say the first half is the boring part. It's like, dude, the shit in the mall was wild. But these interludes were amazing. I'm wondering if fuck, it's already been like 30 minutes almost. I haven't even gotten to the interludes yet. I'm wondering, should I cut the video here and just do Worm Arc 11 Part 1... Worm Arc 11 Part 2, because it's so fucking long. Like, I could maybe justify that, but fuck it. I kind of want to keep going. So, Interlude A, because it's A through, was it H? Yeah, it's A through H. There's 8 of them. The first one is from Rachel's perspective. So, it's Rachel is going about her territory, fucking people up. Like, someone shot at one of her dogs because they were terrified, didn't know what the fuck was going on. Saying, you shot at my dog! So the dog, like, breaks the dude's pelvis, and she's, like, feels like she's just torturing someone because Rachel's an awful person. She goes into her backstory, like, the different foster homes she lived in, and how, like, the last one was particularly abusive, and her trigger event was there was this puppy she was looking after, and the puppy was condemned to drown by the abusive stepmom. power awakened, the dog was saved, and it just murdered the fucking stepmom, so that's how Rachel killed somebody. I remember Glory Girl, and I don't remember the name of her mom. Is that Photon Mom, or was Photon Mom like their cousin? I don't super remember. But they show up to try and help the people getting attacked by Rachel's dogs, and then Siberian shows up. So she's the first member of the Slaughterhouse 9 that we actively meet. In her introduction, she just like shows up, finds that dude that was getting tortured, just plucks out his eyeballs. Like, that's a character introduction. Like, let's go. And one of Rachel's dogs bites her, and she just kind of looks like, oh, what a beautiful dog. Have him release me, or he's going to get hurt. Dog down. The dog gets down, and she talks to Rachel, and essentially the conversation is, congratulations, Rachel. You are my nomination to join the Slaughterhouse 9. You are, and I mean this with all due respect in the best possible way, you're an animal. I'm an animal. My group, we're animals. We're free. You're not that close to your human companions. At best, you're their pet. They scold you when you do something wrong and you don't really understand it, like a dog. And at best, when you do something good, they'll pat you on the back and call you a good girl and maybe give you a treat. Wouldn't you like to taste real freedom? And Rachel's, her response is, it's kind of like a, hey, fuck you, but also, I mean, she might not be wrong. So Siberian tells her, like, look, I'm going to leave you a present. I think she's like, I'm giving you 2 gifts. Number 1 is your life. You are the only person, aside from like the 9, who has had a conversation with me and is going to live afterwards. 2, well, I don't want to spoil it. The second gift will be waiting for you back in your lair. So she leaves, and Rachel's like, I gotta get back to my fucking lair. So she gets to her fucking lair, and all of her henchmen are like super fucked up, crying, like missing an arm, and in the middle of all this blood is a box. She's like, what's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Opens the box, and it's a fucking wolf puppy. She's like, oh my god, she got me a wolf. Oh, I can feel it. Like, I can feel, like, how much, like, stronger this dog is. Like, she's kind of using her power on, and she's like, oh, it's working so much easier with a wolf. Huh. You know, I'm supposed to tell Coyle when something like this happens. I don't think I'm gonna. And she specifically orders her henchmen, no one tell Coyle any of this. And she names her little wolf puppy Bastard. And that's how that one ends. Then you get to interlude B, which is about Theo. And if you remember Theo, he is the son of Kaiser and the stepson of Purity. So I misunderstood earlier because I thought he was both of their sons, but like Kaiser just kind of had custody of him. As it turns out, like, no, he is Kaiser's son. Purity is just his stepmom. And the member of the Slaughterhouse 9 we meet here is Jack Slash. I fucking love Jack Slash. So he's talking to Theo, who's taking care of Aster, and he's like, hey, so the guy who was reading him, like, seemed to give Jack, like, this Irish accent. I don't know if he actually has an Irish accent, because what I've heard of him so far at Arc 12, it doesn't seem like he does. So I don't know if I was, like, mishearing the Irish accent, if the guy was actually trying to give him one. I fucking love him with an Irish accent. I'm like, no, this kind of slaps. This goes really hard. Like, this is fucking evil Lucky Charms fucking leprechaun, dude. This is amazing. It's so good. So he's talking to Theo about his relationship with Purity, and he's like, tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself, Boyle. And at one point he's like, okay, like, Purity, like, is she your mother? No, sir. And Theo's very polite the entire time. He's like, no, sir. Yes, sir. Boyle, you don't have to call me sir. I know, sir, but, it's my father. He always taught me to respect my betters. If someone I know is better than me or more important than me, it's always sir, ma'am. Huh, I kind of like that, boyo. He never says boyo, but if I'm trying to do an Irish accent, which I will probably stop now, it's like I have to add, boyo at the end of it. It helps. But he's like, okay. Is she your mom? She's not my mom, sir. You're not lying to me, are you? No. She's my stepmom, but, I'm Kaiser's son. I'm not her son. Oh, okay. So, do you love her? Yes, sir. But I don't like her. Oh, that's interesting. You tell me about that? It's like, well, she takes care of me. She's very nice to me, but she sees me as my father's son, and I can feel, she sees me like I'm my dad. And I know how much she hates my dad, and it keeps me from really liking her, but I do love her for all the good things she's done. Okay, well, other way around, does she love you? No, sir, but she does like me. Okay, I can work with that. Here's what we're going to do, kiddo. Actually, first off, I want to show you something. So they go into the bathroom, and there is this man in the bathtub, and the bathtub is full of blood, and this dude looks super fucked up, and it's Oni Lee. And it was really interesting, because when I was reading Dragon's Interlude in part 10, and they're talking about Long, this is what's going on with Long and Bakuda and whatnot, I was like, what the fuck ever happened to Oni Lee? He was the other big member of the the Asian Bad Boys. I was like, where the fuck is he? That's where that's pretty fucking bad. To which Jack Slash says, he's like, yeah, so this was my recommendation and nomination for the Slaughterhouse Nine. It's this guy, he's a gangster. He has such a fucking cool power. I could wait to see what he could do. And I thought I would go ahead and give him my test, because that's what we do. Every member of the Nine's going to test all the nominees. So I told him for my test, he had to come up with something, something crazy, something that would impress me. Kiddo, there was nothing behind these eyes. There was no spark. There was no creativity. There was no drive. He's just a soldier ant. You just tell him what to do and he'll do it. That's not what I want. That's not what the Nine's about. So I realized it wasn't gonna work. So I have to bite the bullet on that one. My nominee is a piece of shit, so we're really only going to be dealing with 7 nominees this time, and I cut him up a bit. I didn't kill him. I'm gonna give him to some of my friends, see what they want to do with him. So we'll do that. And while I was in the area, I thought I'd have some fun. I wanted to meet that stepmother, my mistake, but I wanted to meet that stepmom of yours. I want to see the look on her face when I kill you and your baby sister in front of her. No, Thea, don't give me that look, boyo. I slipped back into the boyo. Faux Irish accent. It's don't give me that look. It's okay. I'll make it quick. I don't want to make you suffer. You seem like a pretty nice kid. But, see, I'm an artist. I love what I do. And my favorite part is when I think about... Kiddo, are you familiar with the butterfly effect? That story about, a butterfly flaps its wings and, the particles in the air can affect the trajectory of a storm or can create a storm like a tornado. And that's what I do. Every time I take a life, I wonder, how have I changed the world? What would that person have done? Have I made the world a better place by taking them away? Have I robbed the world of something great? That's art. Let me ask you something, Theo. What did you want to do with your life? Because I'm going to kill you. I want to know what I'm taking away. Well, sir, I wanted to be a hero. Really now? With your father being a supervillain, your stepmother being... You wanted to be a hero. Tell me, young Theo. What kind of hero did you want to be? If you had powers and you were a hero and you were up against me, what would you do? I'd kill you, sir. Really now? You'd kill me. You'd be a vigilante. There's a little bit of the supervillain. Oh boy, that's a good answer. It's like, I like that. I'll tell you what. You gave me a good answer. You impressed me. I will make you a deal. I will give you 2 years. I'm going to let you go and you can live your life. 2 years. So it's a long enough time for you to get your powers, figure them out, kind of become a hero, the hero you want to be, but not so long that, some bullshit can happen and one of us can die. 2 years. 2 years are up. I want you to come find me. And if you can get past my 9, and you can fight me, and you can kill me, you win. Well, what happens if I can't, sir? Well, then you lose. And there's got to be a steep penalty for that. Let's see. 2 years. How many people do you think you could help in 2 years as a hero, young Theo? A few hundred, maybe 1,000? 1,000. That's a good number. If you cannot kill me in 2 years, young Theo, I will kill 999 people in your name, undoing all of the good that you have done. That little baby sister in your arms, she'll be number 999, and you will be the lucky 1,000th. I think that's a fair trade. I'll tell you what, I'll be on my way. You take care of yourself, you take care of that little girl, and I will see you. Jack Slash opens the door, and there's Purity walking into the house. And she knows exactly who the fuck this is. And at first she's like, Theo, I've been calling. Why haven't you picked up? What the fuck is going on here? And Jack Slash is like, Purity, pleasure to meet you. Tell you what, I am on my way out. And I mean that genuinely. I am not going to fuck with you. I'm not going to fuck with your kid. Well, not yet. Theo will tell you all about it. He's a lovely boy. Take very good care of him. Trust me, you owe him your life. But I'm going to just take this, takes Odie Lee, like, I'm taking this and I'm leaving. What makes you think I'm letting you leave? What makes you think you can stop me? I've done my research on you, Purity. You, if I'm correct, your power is, you use a lot of light. So you're almost you're like a power source, a battery. And batteries have to recharge. I've done my research, I've looked into, ever since you debuted, you seem to be, you're active for a good few days, and then you disappear for a bit. Then you're active for a few days, you disappear for a bit. Now, my theory is, you need time for your battery to recharge. And then when it's sunlight, you recharge rather quickly. There's not a lot of sun, it takes you a while to recharge. It's been overcast for the past week. There's been no sun, Purity. And you've been using your power a lot. I suspect that you're very weak right now. And if I'm wrong, I don't think we'd be talking right now. So get out of my way. And make sure you thank that kid of yours. Because he just saved your life. And then he leaves. And what a fucking chapter that was. I was like, holy shit. This dude just showed up and casually just stole the entire narrative and made it his own. Also, so he's gonna do something really bad that's gonna kill everybody. Is it him killing 1,000 people because Theo fails? Is it him doing this? Is it Theo gets powers and ends up going fucking crazy? I don't know. We'll see. Who's next? Who was next? Next was Burn Scar and Labyrinth. So, This one is Burnscar is like the fire member of the Slaughterhouse-9. She meets up with Labyrinth from Fault Line's crew. And they reconnect because it seems like they know each other. And she's like, look, I'm nominating you. My understanding of the chapter, because I'll be honest, it wasn't the best read chapter, was I am nominating you mostly because I just wanted to come see you. Like, we were friends. We were very close. I wanted to kind of check up on you, make sure you were okay. It looks like you're doing okay, and now seeing me, it's reminding you of all the shit that we went through together, and I think I just made you worse by being here, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for this, but I'm with the 9 now, and it's just kind of what I got myself into, so, sorry, Elle. That was kind of it. I mean, there was like a big fight with like Burnscar fighting the Fault Line's crew. Like, that was pretty fun, but it felt like that was kind of it. But we might get some really interesting shit with Burnscar and Labyrinth as this goes on. After that, we get another banger. This one is Armsmaster. So Armsmaster gets attacked by Mannequin, who is a fellow tinker. And what Mannequin did is like he fucked with his own body. They specifically mentioned that I think they said he was a hero. Maybe he was just like a neutral, like a rogue, but I think they said he was a hero. And after the Simurgh, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but the third Endbringer, because there's land, sea, and sky. Land is the behemoth, sea is the Leviathan, and then sky is the Simurgh. Because I looked it up the other day, and it's like, that is the name of I think it's like a Mesopotamian phoenix. So I'm like, oh, that's what that is. That's actually kind of cool as fuck. My friend of mine had told me that Endbringer in particular, if you fight it for too long, it will essentially fuck with a person's destiny and make it so this person will be responsible for a calamity. So you can't fight it for too long, and I guess it's if you are fighting it for too long, people will just kill you. That's fucking wild. I can't wait till we get to some of that shit and that gets explained and that gets explored. Because what? That's crazy. But so I guess Mannequin fought it for too long and it turned him into one of the 9. So he, as a fellow tinker, nominates Armsmaster, which, given Armsmaster's thing against the Endbringer, some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make. Like, it's not that much of a stretch. Armsmaster, to his credit, is offended by this. He's like, how fucking dare you? How dare you think I am like you? Everything I did was to protect people. Am I a piece of shit? Absolutely. You know what I'm not? I'm not a murderer. I'm not a psychopath. You lost your fucking mind when you lost your family. I am not you. And Mannequin, after he brings up the family, gets a lot more violent with Armsmaster, and Dragon is talking to him like, Colin, you need to calm down. There are people on their way to protect you. Do not engage him. Colin. And he's just like, no, fuck you. Come on, I'm here. Like, he is going ham on him. Like, is this like a suicide by cop kind of thing? Because the way it read to me is that Armsmaster's like, look, I can't take him one-on-one. And there's going to be people coming on their way. Like, they can help me fight him. They can fight him off. They can get him to retreat. I don't want that. Like, no. It really felt like my life is over. Everything I have built is gone. There is nothing left. I am not going to join him. But maybe he can end my suffering. And he ends up waking up because Mannequin didn't kill him. He fucked him up, but he did not kill him. I think he cut off one of Armsmaster's arms. Like that, I think that happened, but I'm not a hundo on that. And they had to do an intense surgery to help him survive. And Armsmaster's like, hey, I mean, he tried to kill me. No, Colin, he really didn't. He knew you were going to survive. Like, it was non-lethal. He wants to recruit you. Fuck. And the chapter ends, like, he flirts with Dragon a little bit, and Dragon's like, okay, Colin, I need to fucking tell you something. And you don't hear what she told him, but it's like, okay, she probably just told him she's an AI, and, oh, that sounds fucking interesting. It's like, dude, I really liked this chapter. Like, Armsmaster's a really interesting character, and him participating in the Slaughterhouse games, like, I don't know if there's an official name, but I guess that's probably what I'll call it. I'm really interested to see where that goes. So after that was Hookwolf's chapter, where it's about him and his Chosen, and he's training some of his people, and then Shatterbird shows up, who, man, she can sing really loud and, like, shatter glass and shit, and Hookwolf is able to beat her in a fight, but he doesn't kill her, because Shatterbird told him, if you let me go, like, if you kill me, the 9 are coming after your people. Like, that's just what's gonna happen. The best way to ensure the safety of your people, Hookwolf, I'm nominating you because you're a fellow warrior, and I fucking respect that. If you win, if you become our new member, your people are going to be fine. They are going to be protected, because we're not going to fuck with your people. You're one of us. So Hookwolf says, okay, fine. But fuck this shit. Like, you're a piece of shit. Your 9 are pieces of shit. I'm an asshole. But I have principles. Like, I'm a Nazi, but at least I believe in something. Like, that's an interesting argument to be made. Like, wow, that's, I mean, I guess he's not wrong. He does believe in something, but I mean, fuck you piece of shit. But, alright, like, it's an interesting argument. That's that one. So the next one we get is a Dinah chapter, where Crawler, one of the 9, who his power is, the best way I can describe it is he's a lot like Heracles from Fate, specifically the 12 labors thing. So the way 12 labors works is not only does Heracles have multiple lives for each labor he completed, but he can also regenerate them, like, if he has enough time, and if something has killed him once, he becomes immune to it later. Crawler is super regenerative, and anytime he heals from something, it like, fucks up and mutates his body, which is what he wants, and also he becomes immune to whatever hurt him. I think it was my friend was kind of describing him, he's like, he's kind of a demi-Endbringer. And I think they were saying, it was either something he said or something that was said in the narration is, if he fought an Endbringer, he could maybe kill them. Which is fucking insane. So this dude is in Coil's lair going after Noelle, who is one of the travelers. And it's from Dinah's perspective where she's like, hey, Coil, in 30 minutes, someone's gonna come in here and kill us. Okay, pet, if we do this, what are the odds? They're the same. Okay. What if we do this? They're a little bit better. Okay. And then him just like, okay, bam, bam, bam. And her numbers. And as she does it, like, it's just fucking with her head because she has to compensate for, like, all these realities. And she feels the realities where she dies. And she's like, this is one where we survive, but I can't see what happens. And my head fucking hurts. Can I have some candy? No, pet, no candy yet. But I need candy. No, pets, no candy. I need answers. And eventually, like, they're able to survive Crawler. I wasn't exactly sure what was going on. Like, I think I was playing Persona while I was listening to quite a few of these. But, they are able to not get murdered by Crawler. And I remember the ending of the chapter where she's like, am I okay? Like, can I have my candy? Yes, pet. Go to your room. I'll have Mr. Pitter bring you your candy. So Dinah goes into her room. She kind of lays on her bed. And it says, like, yo, she didn't want to use her powers again because of how much it hurt. But she used her power one more time. And the numbers were up this time to about a 36% chance. A 36% chance that one day she could go home. I was like, fuck. Oh, that was a really sad way to end that chapter. That kind of hurt a little bit. This poor kid. She needs her candy. What the fuck? That wasn't fun. Then we get to Cherish. As much as I loved everything with Jack Slash, I think this was my favorite interlude. I think Cherish is my favorite member of the Nine right now. Her power is she can sense and manipulate emotions. Like, part of it made me feel like I was reading Mistborn, where she can, like, push on an emotion, she can pull on an emotion, but there's a lot to it than that. She's like, okay, this guy is afraid. He's afraid of me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like, twist the emotion. So, okay, there's this part of him that's very loving and protective, like, of his daughter. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to twist it to me. So he feels very protective of me and very loving of me, so he won't hurt me. I'm going to take the paranoia he feels for me and I'm going to twist that so he feels it instead for his companions. So now he's terrified of them. He's paranoid of them. I'm going to suggest that he get his gun out. And I'm kind of going to push that. So he takes the gun out. Now that he's paranoid, he's going to kill them. And like, fuck, that is so cool. And there's a part where, like, she goes to recruit somebody, and then there's guards outside, and she's like, hey, kill yourself. And then she does it again to more people, and she goes up to the guy that she's recruiting, and it's Regent, because they're siblings. They're like, oh yeah, heartbreaker, emotions. That makes a lot of sense now. And, like, they have a conversation essentially about how much they fucking hate each other, but they're still siblings, but they hate each other, but they have this very love-hate relationship, and it's really fun. And she talks about how, it's like, yeah, I'm the newest member of the Nine, and it's great, and I love it, and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, you're in way over your head, sis. You think you're in Gucci, you're probably going to get yourself killed. She's like, I don't know. I've got a plan. And at the end of the chapter, she's talking about how she's like, I've been slowly, subtly using my powers on them to make them really care for me and love me and want to protect me. And in about a year or two, I'll have them eating out of the palm of my hand. And yeah, I read that chapter in part 12 where Lisa tells Jack Slash about Cherish's plan. That's the last thing I've read, by the way. It's like, that was a fucking scene. Like, holy shit. Fuck, I love the Nine. It's like I said, Jack Slash just showed up and said, this is my story now, and I'm all for it. The final chapter is our girl Amy, Miss Panacea, meeting Bonesaw. Bonesaw is slightly younger than Amy. I don't know how old Amy is. Like, I know she's in high school. She's anywhere between, like, 14 to 16. To me, Bonesaw reads like she's a 12-year-old. Maybe a little older, maybe even a little younger. Like, there's the scene, it's in part 12, when she's holding hands with Jack Slash and they're walking down, and she's specifically walking on, like, the yellow lines in, like, the middle of the street. And then it's built in part 12 into Amy. She's like, don't swear. I hate swearing. It's not fun. Like, she feels like a little kid. The best way I can describe her is she's Sid from Toy Story. She's like, dude, I'm just having fun with my toys. I like to combine shit. I like to play around with shit. I'm a tinker, and I tinker with the human body, and it's so fun. It's so cool. Like, I have induced trigger events on my operating table, and I've, like, seen it as it happens, and they get their power, and I've tinkered with the body to make sure I can get the power to still work and get it quite right. Like, you want to see some of my toys, some of my creations? This was Oni Lee, and this is my friend Hatchet Face, and now they're the same person. This is so cool. This is so fun. Oh, this one, so this, she was a superhero. She was very mouse themed. Like, she was really playing the part, like, mouse puns, and, like, I don't know. I didn't really see her. Like, I don't know what kind of puns she used, but she, like, it was really a mouse thing. And this one villain fucking hated her guts, and she wanted her dead. She wanted her out of the way. So she hired the Nine to kill her and take care of her. And I mean, we did. And then we went after the person that gave us the job. Because we're not your errand boys. We do our own thing. So, I stitched them together. But you know how funny that is? Like, she hired us to get rid of this person that she hated, she despised, and now they're together forever. And they're so beautiful. I mean, just look at them. And Amy, you can fuck with people's bodies too. You're just like me. You're just like me for real. I want you to be my new sister because the Nine's a family. I want you to join my family, Amy. And Amy is very, very disturbed by everything she is seeing. She's freaked out. Her adopted dad has like brain damage, and she knows I can fix it, but I refuse because it's part of my ethical code. I do not want to fuck with someone's brain. It's scary, the ramifications of being in someone's head. And I feel like if I ever open that door, it will never be closed. And I'm scared of what I can do and what I know I want to do to people's heads. And Bonesaw's like, we can have fun. Look at all the shit we can do. No, I don't want to be like you. That's okay. We can fix that. We can fix that. Okay, you don't want to hurt people? Tell you what. Do something really fucked up to my friend here, like to one of her toys and creations. If you don't, that guy, that like your dad, I'll fucking kill him. So, get on that. So she has to do like horrible, irreversible damage to one of these people. It's like, you did so good, Amy. You did so good. But we're not quite there yet. You passed the first test. Now I need you to kill this one. No, I'm not gonna fucking kill somebody. Yes, you will. You will. It's okay. It's fun. If you don't, I'll kill your dad. So get on it, Amy. So Amy has to kill one of them, and she's like, see, you did it. I'm so proud of you. And, like, she ends up having to use the mental, like, fuck with someone's brain, and then she ends up healing the dad, and she fixes the dad who gets his powers back and fights off Bonesaw, and Bonesaw has to escape with her toys. And the dad's like, okay, thank you for that. I know you're going through a lot right now, Amy. I'm going to call your mom. I'm going to call Carol. I'm going to get Victoria in here, and we're going to talk about this. We're going to be okay. And Amy's like, yeah, it's fine. That's fine. So I know, because earlier in the chapter, she also found out about who her dad is. She's like, I know who my dad is, and he was a real piece of shit. Someone might be after me from that. Bonesaw is now after me. And, the door is now open to fucking with people's heads. I can't be here. I can't. I have to leave. So she leaves. She leaves like a very quick note, like, I can't be here anymore. I love you guys. Bye. And Glory Girl ends up finding her, and Glory Girl's like, sis, what the fuck? Like, you saved Dad, and I'm so glad you did, but you refused to do it, and now you did, and I'm happy, and I don't understand it, but I want to understand it because you're my sister and I love you and I don't want you to leave. She's like, I have to go. No, I'm not gonna let you go. Victoria, please. No, I'm not leaving you. And then she hugs her, and as they hug, she fucks with Victoria's head for a second. She's like, fuck, I didn't want to do that. She's like, Amy, what the fuck did you just do to me? No, please, let me undo it. Amy, what the fuck did you just do to me? So Amy reveals what I've theorized since, like, the moment I met her. Oh, okay, not the moment I met her, because I didn't figure it out then. Since that interlude when she was talking to Gallant, and it's like, yeah, you have very strong emotions toward me. I was like, let me guess. It's not that Amy's strong emotions that she loves Gallant. She hates him because she loves Victoria. This is where this is going, isn't it? Yup! Called that shit! So she reveals that, like, yes, like, Victoria, I love you. And I fucked with your head to make you receptive to that. And that's why I don't want to fuck with people's heads. Because I knew that I would, like, do this. And I never wanted to. Because I agree with you. It's fucked. I shouldn't have done it. I didn't want to do it. It just happened. And yeah, I see you that way, and I hate that I see you that way. It's like, when Gallant died, were you happy? Like, I lost the person I loved that I thought I was going to marry, were you celebrating that? No, I was heartbroken because you were heartbroken. I just want to see you happy. No, this is fucked, Amy. This is fucked up. This is disgusting. I have spent so much of my time and my life defending you and sticking up for you because I believed in you. But you're a fucking monster. Glory Girl flies off, and part 11 ends with Amy by herself burning her most important bridge. What a fucking ending it was. That was part 11. It was great. It was wild. And again, it's like, I think the first half, like everything with Skitter is really interesting. Like, it's cool. It's fun. The second half is amazing. And part 12 is like, so far, it just picked it up and fucking ran with it. I love it. And so that is 11 out of 31. So I am definitely over a third of the way done with Worm. 20 more to go. I guess like 19 and a half to go. I'm hoping I'll be done with it sometime in August. Yeah, August sounds about right. Maybe September if some parts end up being super long or I get involved in other shit. But really, really good shit.